Hey guys, my name is RyanCentral and welcome to HitScan. When it comes to the ranked experience within Valorant, I would personally say that it's alright. It could be a lot worse, but I think the main thing is that Valorant competitive could be a lot stronger, it could be a lot better, and it's something that I hope would improve in 2021. I think it's fair to say that my prayers have been answered. Not only have the devs teased quite a lot of stuff coming in the future, as well as just flat out told us some of the stuff that's coming in the future, but some data mines came through with some really promising stuff. It seems at some point in 2021 that the ranked system is getting a little bit of an overhaul, and we're getting some much needed stuff from other games coming into Valorant to make the system a whole lot better and just a lot more fun. And with any luck, answer some of the issues like smurfing and stuff in the same breath. This is what was Datamined. It was brought up by Valorant Leaks and also Sheik. A lot of people in the data mining community found it and wanted to shout them out, especially because it's some really exciting stuff. And you can read, but in case you can't, 100 ranked rating points needed to rank up. At Immortal and above, your ranked rating points will continue to accrue. That is an important thing that I'm going to dash through and talk about later. Congratulations, you have been promoted, ranked achieved, episode 2. So we could be getting this as early as episode 2. But I think it's fair to say that 2021 is going to bring some rank changes, and this one seems very interesting, especially when I add the fact that when I bring this up to League of Legends players, the reaction is always the same. They're always like, oh my god, finally we get a system like League of Legends. And as somebody that has never played competitive League of Legends, I genuinely don't know what this system is, and some of you guys might be the same. So in this video, I actually brought in a guest. It's Anderzz. We had him on the channel previously to talk about 4-stacking duelists and an omen, so great track record of advice he has on the channel. But he is also a coach in Valorant. He knows a lot of analytical stuff about the game, and he got the challenger in League of Legends. So he's very familiar with the system and why it's honestly a really good thing for Valorant. So here's him answering, what is the LP system in League of Legends and how is it going to come into Valorant?
It looks like they're moving to what in League of Legends is the LP system, and my presumption on why they're implementing it is for the sake of significantly better ranked transparency. Basically what will happen is inside of your individual rank, be it Gold 1 or Immortal 2 or whatever else have you, you'll be stratified into these little subgroups. Each time you win or lose a match, you get a quantifiable increase or decrease in the amount of LP you have, the points that you have in that specific tier. You climb the ladder, and once you reach 100 points, you enter a promotion series. And so it allows you to see in much more blatant terms the progression as you go up in these like numerically visible LP scores. You qualify for your promotion, you win or lose your promotion, and you climb the ranks that way.
I've got an example on screen, so let's take what it looks like in League of Legends and effectively try and explain how it may look in Valorant considering all of the stuff that was data mined. So you have this LP right in the center of the screen. If you get to 100 LP, you will rank up. There's a promotion system like you mentioned in League, but I don't know if that's what we're getting, so we'll pass that for now. If you go to 0 with LP, if you lose a lot of games, you will D-rank, you will go down a rank. So you get to see roughly how many LP you'll get with each win. You'll be able to see where you are in your rank, whether you're really close to ranking up or ranking down. It effectively gives you a numerical value, like you said, and this is an example on how it could look. Let's say this player is gold 3, he's 21 LP, he got 15 LP in the last game, so this player is more likely to rank down if he loses 2 games than rank up if he wins 2 games. So straight away you can see roughly where he is, which is very different to what it is currently. Valorant, very much like Counter-Strike, doesn't tell you if you are 1 win away from ranking up to the next level or whether you are 1 loss away from ranking down, right? So that feels like it's the main thing. Maybe not so much, I don't know if we'll see like the promotion system in League of Legends and stuff like that, mind, but from the sounds of it, it's just more, at least in ranked now, people will be able to see where they are on the ladder, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think it's all for the sake of transparency. I was a little bit interested actually when Valorant first released their rank system, and it was so much more similar to the way that CS is handled than to the way that League is handled. Because in the distant past, League had a very Overwatch system where they were using sort of a true matchmaking, rating, elo system, and they moved to the system that they have now over time. So clearly they've gone through the progression of sort of trialing these different systems, and they've landed on the one that they believed was best in League, but then didn't implement that in this game, which I thought was odd. I think that this is a great first step forward where they're starting to deal better with rank transparency, because as it stands, the ranked system almost seems skeletal in its current form.
Hello, it's me again. I'm just going to interrupt myself here because remember when I said that at Immortal and above your ranked rating points will continue to accrue? This is kind of tied into what we talk about next, so do pay attention to this line. Also pay attention to this picture as well with the leaderboard and the rating, and why this is a really good thing to effectively stop smurfing, because the top tiers got a lot more interesting for those players.
So the way that it works in League is they'll have all of the sort of sub-strata that are all these different divisions and ranks in the lower tiers, but then once you reach Challenger, the League of Legends equivalent of Valorant's Radiant, you enter that bracket and you have uncapped LP. So you continue to get quantitatively visible increases in your rating every single game that you win, and quantitatively visible decreases when you lose, but there's no longer a ceiling on it. You can technically win in infinite measure and just keep piling it on top of itself to insulate your position within that ladder. If you look at, for instance, like the League of Legends top 10 right now, they're probably all Challenger players with all somewhere north of 500 LP apiece. So they would have promoted out of Challenger, the Radiant equivalent, 5 times based off of the system that's used in the rest of the rankings.
Is that a system that keeps people interested at the top? Because that's the problem with ranked now. I mean, maybe not for me and you that are still wanting to climb to Radiant, but it certainly feels, and this was a big problem in Overwatch 2, that once you get to Radiant, you kind of go, all right, now what? Versus a system that might be, congratulations, you're Radiant. Here's a top 5 leaderboard that has an uncapped potential of how high you can climb. Surely option B is going to be more something that those players want to strive for. Those Radiant players are going to continue to play in Radiant as opposed to they get a smurf and start beating people in Diamond to try and do it all again.
Yeah, 100%. I think that if you look especially at aspiring professionals in League of Legends, the uncapped, publicly visible rank 1 chase is something that they all aspire to. There are players in Europe that, even going back to the old Elo system, basically made their way to the professional scene purely based off of their notoriety on the ranked ladder. And so the introduction of a system like that in Valorant, especially where we have no shortage of otherwise unknown players who are looking to make a name for themselves, having a publicly available leaderboard with a very explicit system is going to be extremely valuable.
Going off what we know now, we can surmise what this system might look like and obviously look at all of the benefits. From somebody that has a League background, does this system have any drawbacks?
I think in terms of making ranked more transparent and giving people at the top of the food chain more incentive to play, this is as close to a perfect solution as exists for those issues. Its only issue overall is that this is not a complete solution to all of the issues with rank. This isn't some sort of panacea that just solves everything in one go. This doesn't address the issue of solo queue catering more to people who play exclusively duelists as opposed to those who play sentinels, and that will be the next challenge.
Hey, I'm interrupting myself again. The final thing that I wanted to talk about was something that we've known about for quite some time, and I'm just going to read this paragraph because it pretty much covers everything, and you might go, ah, yeah, I know what that is. Next year, it's going to be about making some larger changes to our core rank system so that players have an opportunity to prove if they are the best of the best, earn cool rewards, and provide a better sense around your rank changes, all of that can be surmised with what we've talked about previously. Gotta be coy here, but later next year, we plan to create a way to prove your skills to see how you stack up as a team. Well, it seems that that could be something that we're getting in Valorant, and also something that was in League of Legends, known as the Clash system, which before this I had no idea what it was. So again, Anderzz, what is the Clash system, and why is it a super cool thing to have in Valorant?
So Clash is quite literally an in-client tournament builder. It will happen on assigned weekends, and you will create a team in your profile of the amount of friends that you need to make a 5-stack. And then at the time of the Clash matches, it will randomly seed you against another team that is signed up for Clash that week, and you will compete, and you'll be seeded into a bracket where you genuinely play through, and it's just a randomized tournament bracket. It'll be broken out into a couple different tiers, and as you win through those tiers, you'll be seeded into progressively more difficult brackets as you sort of climb the Clash ladder. But in its most essential sense, it is just an in-game client randomized tournament builder.
The main question I have, and I think a thing to point out, is they are done not necessarily within ranks, but if you are, say, a bronze player, you will play up against other bronzes and maybe silvers. It's not like you're going to go up against a team of Radiants. They are very much catered to your rank and your ability, right?
Yes. The tiers in Clash make it so that you're never going to be you and your friends who are a silver 5-stack suddenly playing against TSM. That will not be allowed in the system generally. It will probably be like a ±1 division setup. Not too dissimilar from the way that ranked, like standard ranked queue is seeded in terms of the amount of ranks that are allowed in a lobby.
The instant thought that I have then is, what is stopping a Radiant player getting on a Diamond account, playing with his friends and just smurfing these tournaments? Is there something that stops that in League? Or
there isn't, and it is an issue that definitely exists, but due to sort of the promotion process and the tiering of Clash, if that happens, it will only be for a week, and then those people will be bounced up to another tier of Clash, because Clash as itself is insulated from the rest of the ranked system. And so if you are succeeding immensely as a 5-stack in a way that is not reflected in your solo queue ranks, then it's a non-issue, because your Clash rating and the tiers of Clash that you play in is entirely separate. So if you have something like that Radiant player who's playing with a Diamond stack, and they just smash their way through a Diamond tier of Clash, they will be bumped up to a higher tier immediately.
And you can actually get like prizes in game, right? You can. I imagine you get in-game stuff, right, if it was for Valorant.
Another one of the things that I think this would analog really well against is the in-game Fortnite cash cups. That's something that a fair amount of people probably have some context on, where it's just in the client, you sign up, you play, you have a chance to win money. I do not think that that will be the case with this. If we look at League of Legends, the rewards for Clash are usually cosmetic things. They have a crafting system where you can make skins, so you'll get rewards through that system, etc., etc. It's not going to be cash or cash equivalents, generally speaking, although they may change that for all I know. My assumption would be that it's going to be probably in-game currency. If they were to release it literally today, my assumption would be that you get Valorant points that you can then use to buy skins.
I guess any final things that you want to wrap up on? I feel like we've touched on how the system is very similar to League. It makes sense. It's Riot. That system has been going for, 10 years now? So they've had time to finally craft what a good ranked experience is in League, in inverted commas. I have no idea if I've said something dumb just because I've never played it, but you get the idea. You think that this is a good thing coming for Valorant in the future then? Because it sounds like it could be on the way relatively soon.
My hope is that this drops with the next season at the start of next year, and I do not see any downside to this. I do not think that any downside exists. This is an exclusively positive change.
That's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. It's a bit of a weirdly formatted video. Usually we just kind of cover all of the news, but considering you have the stuff that the devs mentioned, more information on the leaderboards, which should be coming early next year from the sounds of it. You've got the stuff that was datamined. You've just got a lot of different things that come together to give you a clear indication that some major ranked changes are coming in 2021. Some seem to be coming sooner than others. I don't think we're going to get the Clash system in January, for example. It sounds like it's later next year from what they said. But the whole system, the LP ratings, the effective SR that you could get seems to be something that might be coming very soon. Maybe at the start of episode 2, I'm on the fence about that, but we know pretty much what is coming. Now it's just a case of when. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for Anderzz helping me out with some of this as well. You can check all of his details in the description below. And until next time, take care. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.